Tomorrow I'll say we can still be friends, but I'm never coming back here again. This is Never Coming Back Here Again by Michael Lyons.
I'm never coming back here again. This is it now, this is the end. Tomorrow I'll say we can still be friends, but I'm never coming back here again. I was caught for 3 long years, lost in the thoughts of a young man's fears. I cannot swim in a sea of tears. I found you out and then I disappeared. Now I'm never coming back here again. I'm never coming back here again. This is it now, this is the end. I'm never coming back here again. And so it comes down to this: one sad parting farewell kiss, goodbyes in this morning's mist. What's mine is yours, but what's yours is his. So I'm never coming back here again. I'm never coming back here again. This is it now, this is the end. I'm never coming back here again. Oh, oh, oh. I'm never coming back here again. This is it now, this is the end. Tomorrow I'll say we can still be friends, but I'm never coming back here again. I'm never coming back here again. I'm never coming back here again. I'm never coming back here again.
Miigwech. Oh, okay, hey, BOOZHOO, and welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am NANABOOZHOO, and over here, the lovely and the talented, get out of here, Natasha. Ikadon BOOZHOO, Ini Mushane. Say hello, sweetheart. Hello, sweetheart. Nah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I know. That's Natasha. And on down here, we have the ruggedly handsome Mr. Michael Lyons. Ikadon BOOZHOO, Niji. Say hello, brother. Hello, brother. Hikes. That's like the oldest joke in the world, you guys. So yeah, we're back. We're back in the New York groove. And today, I'd like to say, oh, hey, Shady Side is here. Sweetie, Shady Side is here. BOOZHOO, Shady Side Ice. BOOZHOO. And Jim Dunn is here. BOOZHOO, Jim. BOOZHOO, Jim! And so, let me move this closer. So yeah, happy Ogama Day. Minobi Ogama Gija Good. Happy President's Day. Our Ojibwe word of the day, Ogama. It is the Ojibwe word for being a leader or a chief. You know, I'm playing a dangerous game here with the mouse. I don't want to screw this up. Ah, the heck with it. Sorry. Ogama, leader, chief, or president. Today is President's Day. And today is a day we honor our great white father in the White House. So, honey, can you do me a solid? You want me to do you a solid? Yeah. What would you like me to do? Could you ring up the White House? I'd like to talk to President Joe Biden. I don't know. That guy creeps me out. He can't smell you from here. Okay. Just hold on. Let me see it. I'm going to Google it. Joe Biden, White House. Okay, here it is. Line 2. It's ringing. And, hi, can I speak to Joe Biden, please? Okay. We're on hold. All right. Hi, Joe Biden. Yeah. Would you like to be on the show? Okay. Please hold. Okay, he's on line 2. All right, line 2. Hello, Mr. Biden. Huh? Who's that? This is, NANABOOZHOO. Oh, that's great. Oh, and NANABOOZHOO, you know, I watch your podcast all the time. Oh, that's great. I didn't know you were into Ojibwe language. Huh? I said I didn't know if you were into Ojibwe language. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I watch your show all the time. Yeah, okay. So, I just wanted to call and wish you a happy President's Day. Huh? I said I wanted to wish you happy President's Day. Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's President's Day. I'm the president. Yeah, you sure are. Yeah, man. Come on, man. So, how are you going to spend your President's Day? Do you get the day off? Yeah, I'm gonna go to the pool. You're going to the pool? Yeah, I'm gonna go down to the pool, you know, and go for a swim. Okay. I like to go down to the pool, and you know, the kids, they climb on my lap and they rub their hands, you know, and I love the kids being on my lap. What? And Corn Pop, he's a bad dude. What are you talking about? Corn Pop. I had to fight Corn Pop. Oh, that's right. Didn't you have some fight story about fighting a guy named Corn Pop? Yeah, he was a bad dude. I said, you know, I might lose this fight. I'm going to wrap this bike chain right around your head. Corn Pop, he's a bad dude. Yeah, I know. So, yeah. So are you settling in well in the White House? Do you, you know, have you found your way around? Did you, did you rearrange the furniture and that? Yes. And then there's Diggum. I'm sorry? Diggum the Sugar Smacks. Yeah, what about him? I had to fight Diggum too. I said, hey Diggum, you're a bad dude. You know, I might not win this fight, but I want to wrap this bike chain right around your neck. You fought Diggum too? I fought Corn Pop and Diggum and Tony the Tiger. Huh? Well, come on, man. Okay. Listen, I'm gonna let you go, okay? Who is this? This is NANABOOZHOO. You're on the BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO podcast. Oh, the NANABOOZHOO podcast. Yeah, I love that. I love that show. Come on, man. Okay. I gotta go. Huh? Who is this? Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. President. What? I said thank you. Oh, yeah, no problem. Come on, man. Yeah, he sounds a little confused. Yeah, he does. Well, you know, he's getting up there. Yeah, I guess he's like 78 years old. Wow, that's pretty old. Yep. But I think we're in good hands. You know? I mean, if you can't trust Joe Biden, who can you trust? You know? He's more popular than Barack Obama. That's what they say. Yep. Got the most votes in history. The most popular president ever. You know? I'm still waiting to hear from Hillary. What do you mean? I mean, like, where's Hillary been? You couldn't shut her up during the 4 years ago, and now her good buddy Joe Biden's in office, and just seems like she would have congratulated him or something. Maybe she did. She could have. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention. I don't really care. So how you guys doing? Richard's here. Sweetie, Richard's here. Bonjour, Richard. Richard says, bonjour to all the Wabanuk keg. To all the Wabunung keg. Keg. Wabun, I don't know what that word is. To all the gang, I'm sure. To the BOOZHOO crew. And Sheila. Oh, Sheila is here. Bonjour, Sheila. Bonjour. And, we're here. Our Ojibwe words, Ogama, for leader, or chief, or president. That word doesn't really have much meaning anymore. Shady Side Ice says, Henry Boucher, the Ojibwe hockey guy, seems more trustworthy than JB. Yeah. We were talking hockey yesterday. I almost forgot Henry Boucher's name. He's a hero to us. Sort of. We didn't have hockey in our school, so I never learned how to play it. I could never skate that well. We certainly had plenty of ice to practice on, with the lakes freezing up. Oh, yeah, by the way, what is it, 32 below today? Yep, 32. It's going to warm up to 1 below. Oh, really? Yeah, like 3 in the afternoon, they're going to warm up to 1 below 0. 1 below 0. Well, there you go. Heat wave. Ugh. But we're hanging in there. Sheila says, Happy President's Day. You know who I'd like to talk to? Who's that? Can you get Donald Trump on the line for me? Yeah, hold on. Let's see. I'm just going to Google Donald Trump personal phone number. Here we go. All right. And, hello, is this Donald Trump? Okay, please hold. Okay, he's on line 2. Wow, you're really good at that. Yeah, All right. Line 2. Mr. President. Yes. That would be Mr. Former President, if you don't mind. Oh, no, not at all. How you doing, Donald? I'm doing quite well. Who is this? This is NANABOOZHOO. Oh, hello, NANABOOZHOO. Am I on your podcast again? Yeah. I just wanted to call and wish you a happy President's Day. Oh, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I'm going to go down as the greatest president of all time. Oh, you think so? Yeah, I'm sure of it. Because, I am the Donald. Yeah, you sure are. So how are you going to spend your President's Day today? I said I would go out to Mar-a-Lago, maybe go golfing. I want to take Melania with me. We'll go golfing on this President's Day. Does Melania really want to go golfing with you? No, there's a lot of things she doesn't care to do with me, but she'll do it. Okay. I've got her on the payroll. You pay Melania? Yeah, what do you expect? No, I guess that doesn't surprise me. Happy President's Day. Just wanted to let you know we were thinking about you. Can I give the Ojibwe word of the day? Yeah, we already have one. It's Ogama. Ogama, a leader, a chief, or a president. Yes. Yep, that's right. All right, well, I'll let you go then, NANABOOZHOO. Gigawaba min, minawa. Yeah, Gigawaba min, minawa, Niji. Oh, Donald Trump. Yep, gonna go golfing. Yeah, it must be nice. Must not be as cold where he's at in Mar-a-Lago. Where is Mar-a-Lago? I have no idea. I'm not even sure if I used that word right. Mar-a-Lago. All these rich people, they got to name their homes. Or maybe Mar-a-Lago is like a golf course. I just heard it once on the news. Mar-a-Lago, why don't you run to your senses? You've been out riding fences for so long now. Baby, we can talk all night, but that ain't getting us nowhere. The snow is really piling up outside. I wish you wouldn't make me leave here. Nah. Snow's not really piling up outside anyway. It's too cold to snow. I know. It's insane. Insane in the membrane. Richard says, daybreak people. Daybreak in the swamps. That's what my grandma used to say. Daybreak in the swamp. Get up. My mom used to come in singing. When I was a little boy, I was coddled. My mother would sing me awake. She'd smack open the door. My brother and I would be there in our bunk beds. And she'd go, bum bum ba bum 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 ba bum 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 ba bum bum. It's time to get up. It's time to get up. It's time to get up. It's morning. It's time to get up. It's time to get up. It's time to get up. But now you've got to get up and get ready for school. You've got to get up and put your clothes right on. You know. And we'd be like, shut up, Mom. There's no way to wake up. But she didn't care. She was like a military mom. Gonna wake you up with that's not taps. What is that called? If I was ever in a war, I'd want to be that guy. The bugle player. I think that would be a good job for me. And then when people died, I could go to the funeral and be like, da 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 da. Wait, that's not it. That's la da da da. The stars are bright. Yeah, I'll go to a funeral and sing and play Christmas songs on a trumpet. I'd play taps, whatever that is. Da 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 la di da la di da. Do you think people would be offended if I went to a military funeral and just sang the taps? La la la, la la la, la la la, la la la, la la la. Okay. Bueno, hey, bueno, hey, bueno. Okay. Dawei-gun. Drum. The Dawei-gun. Today's BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO podcast is brought to you by the makers of Indian drum. Costco, made in China. Get your authentic Native American powwow drum. Order now. Limited supplies while supplies last. That's how they trick you in the old days. Order now while supplies last. You know, you wait till tomorrow, we can't guarantee they might be gone. Order now. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I'll dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when darkness comes. Okay. So, Ogama, leader, chief, presidente. It is very important that you always vote for your leader. These are the people who will show you the way. Actually, we did a show the other day. We were talking about this idea of being nice versus being a leader. And they go, don't be nice. What does it mean to be nice? Being nice means being harmless. You know, I mean, it's like the nicest thing, the most harmless thing a kid says about us. She goes, "Oh, I like that guy. He's nice." But it's because they don't really know. They just know mean and nice, little kids. But when you grow up, being nice just means you're fundamentally harmless. And so this guy was saying, don't be harmless. Be a leader. Be so exceptional and so unique that other people will follow your example. Nobody became a leader because they were the nicest guy in the village. You know, it's like, oh, that old Jimmy Looks Twice. He's so nice, you know. It wasn't like Crazy Horse was super nice. Oh, Sitting Bull, he's so polite. That boy grew up and he never said a harsh word to anybody. He always did his chores, said his prayers. You know, he was so nice that the people made him the, Ogama. It's like, no. Sometimes the leader, I mean, let's face it, Donald Trump didn't become a leader because he was nice. And, before you say anything like, oh, everyone hated that guy, half the people loved him. He was a leader to half the country. And not because he was nice. Who else was a leader? A leader of men. Let's see. Well, they called Elvis Presley the king of rock and roll. The king. He was a leader. He led the way. Elvis was at the forefront of, rock bands. He was one of the first guys to start a band with a drummer and a bass player. Country music in the old days wouldn't have the drum, the Dewey gun. And it was one of Elvis's songs that they made the drum really popular on kind of an old country swing song. I forget which song it was. But, he became a leader of sorts, of that genre. The front man, singer, the crossover celebrity artist. He was the king of rock and roll, but he was like the king of celebrities. But then, I was digging around in our history. This isn't a podcast about Ojibwe language, culture, and history. And so you're digging around, and you know what I found out? The Statue of Liberty looks just like Elvis. I mean, get your mind around that. Sit with it. Once you see it, you'll never unsee it. Let the truth wave over you. What is going on there? Why do we have a statue of Elvis? Right? The Statue of Liberty. Lady Liberty. Check a look at that arm. Know that the face is Elvis. That's not a lady. That is no lady. That is Elvis Presley in a costume of Helios, Colossus, the great Colossus of Rhodes in Greece or something. This is the god of the sun. And his name is Helios, I think. And they called the statue Colossus. Not the X-Men. Colossus of Rhodes, I think. And he was the god of the sun in Greek mythology. So, he's a dude And notice the hat. It stands for the sun, right? Because Lady Liberty is the sun god Helios and a transgender. And the king of rock and roll. What is going on there? Oh, and Elvis Presley's first record company, Sun Records. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other Lady Liberty. You're a cross-dressing king of rock and roll. Oh, doo doo doo. Around your neck. Isn't that crazy? Rayville is played at 7 a.m. as the morning bugle call. Rayville. Oh, okay, that's what it is? Bum, 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 at 7 a.m. We should end the show with it then. And again, if I did it, I would do it like lounge singer style. La la dee dee dum, la la dee dee dum, la la dee dee dum dum. Go to sleep and good night. La dee da dee dee dum bum. Don't be cruel. Freemasons. Yeah. I know I don't understand it. I'm just smelling a Freemason when it. I don't know. Yeah, well, Elvis was a Freemason. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, remember those big rings? One of those was a Freemason ring. Everybody, basically, who, if you become a household name in culture, you get there through the pyramid. Just says, that's not the Statue of Liberty. I'm looking at other close-ups for comparison. Oh, really? The Elvis isn't? Is this a hoax? I don't know. I can't tell from this angle. I can tell that arm is a man's arm, and the neck is a man's neck, and the brow ridge. I don't know why people call that Lady Liberty. Is that even like a bi-level haircut? Or is it like, part of the toga? I don't know, but it's creepy. I said before that if Antifa wants to tear down the Statue of Liberty, I'm cool with that. Don't care. But that, in that statement underneath where it says, bring me your tired masses, it starts out, not to be confused with the Colossus of Rhodes, meaning they talk about this statue. This was the largest statue, one of the 7 wonders of the world, in Rhodes, Greece, or wherever. And you can see, maybe you can't see. I know it was at the entrance of the city, and there are boats and stuff. It was a great big statue of a naked guy in a cape. No, thank you. I mean, was that there to scare away people? Because they're like, ugh. These people in Rhodes are gross. They got a big old statue of a naked guy in a cape. I mean, what is that supposed to be? Superman at the laundromat? He's like, well, I got to wash my tights, but I don't have anything else to wear. I'll just stand here with my golden crown. Nope, that's not Lady Liberty. You've been hoaxed. Ah, crap. It's not like the internet to come up with nonsense. So Elvis Presley's not the Lady Liberty? I guess that makes sense. Oh, well. It's Canadian Flag Day. Oh, there you go. Should we get their little What's his name? That weirdo likes to dress up in costumes. Their prime minister. I don't even know. He's like a male model, and he always dresses up in the costume of the people he's meeting. Like he goes to India and he wears like an Indian sari. And he'll go somewhere else and dress up like, the Statue of Liberty was originally designed as an Egyptian woman due to its rich archaeological history. Egypt is well known as a home to various colossal statues depicting ancient rulers. Yeah, how did they make those statues? If they didn't even invent the wheel yet, but they could make these colossal statues. People don't know how hard it is to carve rock. There's a reason why there's no famous modern sculptors in the art world. They can do bronze statues. They can do, moldings. Now we got the 3D printer, so you can make plastic stuff. But to carve stuff out of marble or stone at all is just mind-boggling. I guess that's it's the one art that I have no experience with. The one. Or ballet, or a lot of art. But I don't understand it. So I really, really respect sculptors. I mean, real sculptors, who it looks like the thing. Don't give me modern art. Oh, look at this. Then it would be a giant Michael Jackson statue. They forgot to get the nose off, Jessica says. Yeah. If it was a real statue, it would be Michael Jackson with no nose. Justin Trudeau. Yeah, thank you, Shady Side. Justin Trudeau. Speaking of facial stuff coming off, there's a video of him where his eyebrow falls off. Justin Trudeau wears fake eyebrows. I mean, on the one hand, who cares? Joe Biden wears fake teeth, but it's just weird. I didn't even know they made fake eyebrows. And they definitely don't make them for dudes. But he felt like, my eyebrows aren't thick enough. Gonna stick this fake mustache on my eyebrow. And then it fell off him. People are like, oh. Is that an impeachable offense? Nope. So Donald Trump goes up to, what's her name? Nancy Pelosi's door. And he goes, knock, knock. She says, who's there? Owen. Owen who? Owen 2. I guess he got off. He's not, he didn't get impeached. Well, congratulations, Donald. We should have talked about that on the phone, but I don't get it. Trudeau is Fidel Castro's son. Yeah, I saw that picture. He looks just like him, doesn't he? Fidel Castro. Allegedly. Yeah, what are you trying to get my channel taken down? Next thing you'll be saying we never went to the moon. How dare you? That was the greatest achievement of America. The baby boomer generation. They landed men on the moon. Don't tell me that they hoaxed that. There's no way you could. How would you hoax something like that? There's no such thing as television studios. There's no way. It's so real looking. I mean, watch the videos, you guys. It's silly to question NASA. What does NASA mean? Oh, in Hebrew it means to deceive, but never mind that. They went to the moon 6 times or 11 times in 6 years or something. Number of times. Apollo 11 was when they landed on the moon. Allegedly. And then all this happened during the Nixon administration. Remember that guy? The guy they actually kicked out of the office for lying and, I don't know, spying or something. That guy, he talked to the astronauts on the moon. made a phone call from the White House. You can do that. That's not lying. And, they went there and back many times. Lost all the evidence. They don't have the tapes or anything anymore. NASA, they admitted it. We lost all that. We don't have any record of going. All we have are these videotapes and that one picture of the Earth. There's only one photograph of the whole Earth. Everything else is composite, Photoshop painting, But that one picture that's on every science book, they took on the very last voyage back from the moon before they decided not to ever go back again, ever. And now it's been 50 years? Is it 50 years already? I think so. No, not quite 50 years. Yeah, so over 45 years, they haven't been back to the moon. But that they took one picture. It's a good thing they remembered, because all those other trips, they never thought to take a picture of the Earth more than once, even by their nonsense story. But so they did that. They had a big press conference. Maybe I'll get those pictures someday. I'm sure you guys have seen them. Those three guys, Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and the other guy nobody remembers. Looking just bummed out, looking like somebody just threatened their families. It was like, hey man, welcome back. You went to the moon. That's great. How do you feel? Yeah, fine. Not looking anybody in the eye. Yeah. Going to the moon was great. Did you see any stars? I don't remember seeing any stars. Would you shut up? Oh, yeah. Now from now on, we can never show the stars when we shoot anything in space. Nice going, dummy. Oh, sorry. I'm kind of freaked out. They just threatened my life. And this is how it went down. I want to tell you guys I've enjoyed our time together here. Kind of ironic that the last song we do on the show before YouTube takes us down was Never Coming Back Here Again. Because that's how YouTube channels get taken down, you guys. Luckily, nobody watches the show. But you can't say they faked the moon landing. You can't say anything about the T word. You can't question people's parenting when, they go along with this thing. I don't know. What am I talking about? Okay. Everything's A-okay. And I'm on my way to where the air is new. Hey, sweetie, did you want to come on the show? Y'all done talking? Yeah, I think so. If I keep going, I'm gonna go down the conspiracy rabbit hole, and I'm gonna say something that's gonna endanger the show. Like eventually, they're gonna censor people even talking about how they censor people. So I want to say, miigwech ganawabieg. Thank you for watching or listening, and I'm gonna turn it over to Natasha here. Hey, Niji, yeah. Would you be so kind as to carry me over there so Natasha can come on and say hello to the people? Sure. All right. I will see you again. Gigawaba min. Minowa. Oh. All right, sweetie, it's your turn to shine. Okay. Everything's A-okay. All right, just give me a second here. All right. So try not to talk about the moon landing or the realm, you know what I'm saying? Can I talk about Antarctica? No, let's just stay away from all that, I'm just gonna, admit defeat. Okay. So that's not really Elvis, it's the Statue of Liberty? No, I guess not. Oh, I'm kind of disappointed. Yeah, I know. It would have been sort of fun to have Elvis as our statue. Hey, if they want to tear down the Statue of Liberty, yeah, and replace it with Elvis Presley, would you go for that? Are you kidding? Of course I'd go for that. I'd love to see an Elvis statue in New York. Bring me your huddled masses. Okay. Let me just get situated here. How's this look? Pretty good. Boo-hoo. Yeah, if they want to replace the Statue of Liberty with a giant Elvis Presley statue, I'll sign that petition. Hi, everyone. BOOZHOO. Natasha Nindishana Cause. Natasha is my name. And I think everybody here knows that already. But for the future, viewers who stumble on this show thinking it's an episode of Sesame Street, you've come to the wrong saloon, mister. All the piano music stops. The chairs. All the people playing cards stop and look in the same direction. Who are you? You've come to the wrong saloon. This is not Sesame Street. This is the podcast that believes every conspiracy theory on the internet. Elvis Presley is the Lady Liberty. The transgendered Lady Liberty. Let's see who's here. Sheila, BOOZHOO, Sheila. Wish you were here. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running over the same old ground, and how we found the same old fears. I wish you were here. Isn't that a sad song? Pink Floyd? Oh, I love that song. Yeah. Is there anybody in your life you wish was here? Witches. Elvis Presley, maybe? Shady Side Ice says, Sam Capriel is my president. Sam Capri. He's the president of the U.S. Police Union. Oh, there you go. Shady Side doesn't recognize Joe Biden. I'm starting to suspect that maybe somebody got sniffed. Did Joe Biden touch you? Yeah, he's pretty creepy. I can't get over it. Sorry. I mean, for everything that they said about Donald Trump, Joe Biden is way worse. Minu Giga Jab crew, says Daniel Black. BOOZHOO, Daniel. How you doing? Brandy Marie says, you look great, as usual. Aw, thank you, sweetie. Brandy thinks I'm good looking. I think you're good looking. Why would you say that? Well, I don't know. Let's see. Daniel Black at Sheila BOOZHOO. Knew you would know. Oh, Sheila. La da 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 da. So let's see what's going on here in Bemidji, Minnesota. The weather today, it is currently probably at like 4 o'clock. It was 32 below. Actual temperature. That's not even wind chill. 32 below zero, which I don't know what that is in Canada, but cold, almost as cold as it ever gets. And high today of 1 below, so it's actually going to warm up quite a bit. But it's been really sunny, Haven't seen the chemtrails. And see, Jessica says, did Natasha have a happy Valentine's Day with NanaBOOZHOO? We did. We had a really nice Valentine's Day. Huh, honey? Yeah, I guess so. What did we do? Well, let's see. What did we do? Had some coffee after the show. We watched the show again. And then, we ordered a pizza. That's right. We ordered a pizza for the first time in like 3 years. Pizza Hut's like 4 blocks away and we never order it. But we're all out of food and the truck isn't running. So we just broke down and ordered a pizza. And so we got together, ordered a pizza, watched the first season, or the first couple episodes of season 1 of Breaking Bad. It was really romantic watching Breaking Bad. And then we took a long nap. And when we woke up, yeah, not the most romantic house, I guess. So let's see. Richard has got a cat with hearts and looks like a moon face or something. Jessica says, we got a heart-shaped pizza from Papa John's last night. Well, there you go. The heart-shaped pizza. That says love. That's way better than getting, a box of those old stale candies. Pizza. Well, we're going to have to do something again today. We have 2 cans of soup left, and that's it. And a jar of peanut butter. We've eaten up everything else in the house. All the oatmeal, all the instant potatoes. Forget about the produce and stuff. We ran out of that days ago. And now we're down to 2 cans of soup. Oh, and a can of chili. But it's that gross, cheap stuff, like for $1. The stuff they give away. In fact, I think we got it at the food shelf. Anybody else here have leftover food shelf items from like 3 years ago? You're like, well, we got this for free on the food shelf, canned goods. But we're never going to eat it unless we have to. Okay. Can Aunt Jemima replace the Statue of Liberty? Yeah. Another win for racism. They've killed Aunt Jemima. Thank you, whoever. Mills. I don't even know the name of this company anymore. But they decided for the first time in 100 years that Aunt Jemima, who I guess was a real person, they showed a photograph of the actual woman, and I didn't read the article, but it was named after an actual person in history named Jemima. Everyone called Aunt Jemima, who made pancakes or something. And just like the Land O'Lakes girl, they're like, nope, no more women of color on food. That's racist. Like, why? What's wrong with Aunt Jemima? Oh, it's a stereotype. What? Because women are ants? Because Jemima is a name that's more popular in black communities in the 1800s or whatever? What? Who's offended by Aunt Jemima? Who was offended by the Land O'Lakes girl? Like, what kind of sourpuss went and bought their butter and, oh, there's that darn Land O'Lakes girl. This is racist. I'll buy it, but I don't like it. One day we'll rise up and we'll fight for equality by getting rid of every woman of color who sells food items. Who's next? Are there any left? Got rid of all the mascots. No more fighting Sioux. Are they still called the Redskins? Honey, do you know if they changed the Redskins' name? You would think I would know, but I care so little that I don't know. Yeah, it seems like there was something in the news. Did they change the name of the Washington Redskins? Because that did a lot to improve the lives of Native Americans on the reservation. Pine Ridge Reservation is no longer a third world country. Once they changed the logo, the mascot on this football team, everything got better in Indian country. The gangs all disbanded. Nobody, we all went back to the traditional ways. Back to arranged marriages. Back to harmony, sobriety, the red road. Thank you, Washington Redskins, for solving our problems of racism. I heard it said the other day, too. You know, they want us, the capstone of the pyramid, which is the real issue in keeping people down or bringing people up. They want us all to see things in black and white. You know, they always forget about Indians, but, you know, the Freemasons are all into like the checkerboard. Well, when they're constantly saying that the problems of this country are race, it makes people not say, no, actually it's class. Rich black people are privileged in the same way rich white people are, and poor white people are oppressed in the same way poor black people are oppressed. You know, I mean, you can make an argument that nobody's oppressed, but so yeah, all this, hey, score 1 for racism. It's like, shut up. Why don't you do something about classism? Or why don't you just shut up altogether? Oh, we're going to make a utopian society. Well, good job. Look around. Look around what your leaders, your Ogama, have created. Children going to school from their bedrooms wearing, you know, gas masks at the basketball court. Oh, land of the free, home of the brave. Home of the brave. Yeah, right. We don't even want to get a cold. Oh, we're afraid to get the sniffles. Let's close down the country. We're the land of the brave. Oh, no, I can't leave my house. Got to social distance because I'm so brave. You know. Oh, you're a hero for being a coward. Have you heard the theory that the labyrinth is about mind control? You mentioned checkered floors, and it made me think of that. Is Labyrinth about mind control? Of course it is, because it's made by Hollywood. But let me think. Labyrinth. The story of Labyrinth is a little girl wishes the Goblin King would take away her little brother, and so he does, and he brings him to the labyrinth. And she's got to go through this maze to get him back. And he gives her back when she figures out that he has no power over her. Yeah, all these children's stories. I mean, I hate to admit it because I love David Bowie so much. But I read the original script of Labyrinth once. And when, in the original script, is that Spielberg? Did he make? No, it's Jim Henson. But in the original script for Labyrinth, the Goblin King, the David Bowie, Jareth, he combs her hair, and they have like more of a love affair. And she's supposed to be 14, and he's supposed to be a grown-up. And he goes, oh, it's so gross, cut it out. You know, can't we have one thing that's not totally... So it's probably about MK Ultra mind control. The CIA thing that will get this channel taken down too. But yeah. Having multiple personalities. I like to think of that movie as being more about that being of that age where you start to grow up and you have to give up your toys. Because that was a real stage in my life. I remember getting that age where I still had, stuffed animals and action figures and stuff. And the day came, there was one particular day where I went to play, and I didn't feel like it anymore. I was like, what am I doing? This is stupid. I'm not going to play with these toys anymore. I'm going to go out and shoot baskets or something. And I never, well, Michael, you could probably talk on this better than I could. you want to talk about that transition to adulthood that other people make? Yeah, I could. All right. You know what, you guys? I'm going to let Michael talk about this because he has some insight. But so I'm going to go over there. Thank you for watching. Me quetch got a wappy egg. BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. And I will see you again. Gigawabba min. Minawa. Hawa. All right. Would you be so kind as to carry me over here, sweetie? Sure. Okay. See you later. Woo! How do you do, honey? Oh, that was great. That was really riveting. So, Michael, you going to talk about your dolls and stuff? Yeah, okay. BOOZHOO! Nij Anashanabedug. And my name is Michael. How you doing, everybody? So yeah, the Labyrinth movie. I have a poster over here, actually. A cartoon I did of David Bowie as Jareth, the Goblin King. And, you know, there's definitely Jim Henson's influence and this movie's influence on the show. If you ever saw Labyrinth, you know, it's music and puppets and much more fantasy than I'm into. But here he says, "Stop, look what I'm offering you. Your dreams. I asked for so little. Just love me. Just fear me. Love me. Do as I ask, and I shall be your slave." But yeah, I think I was 17 years old when that movie came out. And in my education as a puppeteer, musician, as an artist, whatever, David Bowie had a huge influence on me. And that movie came out, just like all the Jim Henson stuff. I was in the perfect age to be influenced by it. When I was 5 years old, let's see, I was born in 1967, and I don't know what year Sesame Street came out, but I was like probably the first generation of Sesame Street watchers. And of the age group that they were targeting, you know. So I learned how to count to 10 in Spanish, and, you know, had seen all the episodes. And then by the time I was in junior high, or getting to that age where you're leaving childhood things behind, the Muppet Show came out. And so Kermit and Miss Piggy was introduced. Some of the Muppets came over to the primetime evening show. And the humor was a little older than what Sesame Street had to offer. And they had celebrities. They would always have one human celebrity, if you guys remember. Usually a musician who could sing along with the Muppets and stuff. And there was the Muppet house band. And so I remember thinking about the Muppet Show a lot when this show started, and we started doing music with the Muppets, the puppets, whatever, with NanaBOOZHOO and Natasha. And then by the time I was getting too old for the Muppet Show, Labyrinth comes out, and one of my favorite musicians, rock stars, celebrities, David Bowie, was this, you know, one of only two humans, or I guess there were parents in the movie too, but you know, was the star of this puppet show. And I always found that just interesting. That was a synchronicity in my life. So the story about Sarah, who's the little girl or the other human in Labyrinth, is that she's living this fantasy life. And she's actually playing. She has to babysit her baby brother who's crying and screaming and stuff. But she wishes him away. And then from her imagination, the Goblin King, David Bowie, shows up and takes her little brother. Well, in the end, you kind of see how she has all the power because she's the dreamer. And it's that sad, sweet time of life where you're getting too old for your toys. And it's almost not even a choice. I remember playing one day. I have a younger sister who would play action figures with me. She was kind of a tomboy. And I remember she would play, we had a box of action figures and stuff. We could play together and doing voices. Oh, come on, let's get out of here. No. Making up stuff. But when the adults would come back from, work or whatever, she knew to just throw them away. And, I didn't want to be seen playing toys at whatever age, 10, 11. And I remember also thinking, I was getting to an age where stuffed animals, where I was getting embarrassed. I still like stuffed animals, but I was embarrassed to be the kid who liked stuffed animals. Like, I was the kid who brought my stuffed animal to kindergarten with me. And didn't get bullied or teased for that, but I was the only one who carried around Little Cutie, this white and red teddy bear. So I love that movie for the themes of it. And then one theme in the show is sort of a re-embracing, now that I'm a middle-aged guy, playing with toys, being creative, playing, is kind of a theme of the show too. So I just want to share some of my action figures. This is Paul Stanley.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm Paul Stanley of Kiss.
This is Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons plays bass for Kiss, but he lost his I lost his bass. Come on. Trying to get him into focus. Oh, I guess this camera doesn't automatically focus. And here's Ace. One thing I love about toys, so you've got Stephen A. Leon, whose leg is broke, and Ace Frehley, right? Two spacemen, two friends. They show up in my comic strips. There's Ace Frehley and, Steven. And then eventually that ends up on this show, and I don't know why I'm sharing this with you. But, it's so weird because I know this show is a kid's show, and yet this live stream is just us old people. So forgive me. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I want to address like little kids who are potential viewers of the show, even though I doubt they're, or who knows. So those are some of my toys. And with the BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO podcast, I've been able to kind of re-embrace the joy of playing and using our imagination and playing with toys. I don't know if that's good or bad or what, but sure beats working. And so on that note, I would like to say, miigwech ganawabieg. Thank you for watching, and for listening to me rattle on and do this ridiculous show. I do appreciate it, and it sure beats working. And without you, I wouldn't be able to play with my toys and my puppets and stuffed animals. So miigwech. And I think I have ACE inhibitors and only can remember AI Frehley. AI Frehley? So artificial intelligence Frehley? ACE inhibitors. Oh yeah, what is that? Anyway, thank you so much for watching BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Michael Lyons, and I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Minawa. Hoa.